let's go back to the T-Rex car and that All-Star race, because how much time and why did you develop that car? And what was it that NASCAR was like, don't bring that back? Or is that list too long?
No, it's not. You know, that car was really Mr. Hendrick's idea. So Mr. Hendrick at that time, you know, we'd won the championship in 95. Terry won in 96, you know, and we're developing stuff. He's got Rex Stump there, who was, you know, a great Gary Aker, you know, our engineering, you know, group was just building cars. So they had the R&D shop and they said, look, take all of your ideas and give them to Rex, and Cheech Gardy at that time was the fabricator there. And they're going to build a car using all your ideas. And you know, we've got to stay ahead. And that's the way Rick is. You know, he was big on the next stage of the motor. Yeah, we're winning, but what are we doing in 3 or 4 months? You know, what's the next stage? And that's the way he was with the cars. It was constant development. So Rex and those guys take all our ideas, you know, we're going to stiffen the chassis, and, you know, we're going to raise the floor pan up, and we're going to move the shocks outside the chassis, and we're going to do all this. We take the thing to the racetrack, and I mean, it's like, it's a turd. Like, we can't go anywhere with it. Like Jeff's like, yeah, it's like half a second slower than the rest of our stuff. Then Terry Labonte, I think Terry took it to Texas. He and Gary DeHart came back to like, yeah, you know. But so we were going to Charlotte, and you know, at Charlotte used to be we'd practice and practice and practice and practice. You know, we'd practice. So I guess we tested a week before, and then we'd go back. Well, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you might as well run your, you know, your Tahoe around there, right? Because you're not learning anything, because that Charlotte's just tricky. So it's like, fire T-Rex up there, you know, let's go. I'm thinking, you know, they're going to yell if we don't test this thing. So you go out there, and it's about 6 or 7 tenths off of what our favorite car at that time was Blacker, you know. So, and he's like, I don't know. I said, let me try something. So I decided to try putting like a modified setup in it. So, you know, back then we used to run like a 1400 on the left front and 2000 on the right front, and probably a 350 and a 400, right? I take a pair, I think we put a pair of 1600s in the front, and we put a pair of 450s in the back. We dropped the track bar, and I said, give me the biggest sway bar we got. 1 3/8. It's the biggest one we had at that time. And, you know, we sent him out there, and I said, I have no idea what this is going to do. He goes out there, and, you know, Brian Weitzel's on the truck with me, and he clips his, you know, I clipped my stopwatch, and I looked at it, and it was like, same time, right? And Brian's like, the tenths were the same. The second was a second faster.
Wow.
And we were like, Jeff comes in, he goes, what was that? I said, I don't know. Let's go think about this and work on it. And what we found out at that time was, you know, we dropped the nose, got the air dam on the ground. That car had the race floor pan, got the air out from under the bottom of it. A pair of 450s kept the spoiler up in the air, and it was all aero. So we come back, we're going to run it into Winston. We were going to run it into 600, and he comes off of the corner and hits pit road. And he's running, you know, they had the radar gun. He's running like 150 something when he hits pit road and stands back on the gas. And he goes sliding by us with we're in the pits there. He's sliding by us with all four tires locked up, you know, when they used to do that 3-lap pit crew deal. And he's yelling, the brakes aren't working. The brakes aren't working. I was like, they're smoking, bud. We'll see you in a minute, you know?
Right.
So he comes in, we got to start last. We start last in this thing, and everybody said, oh, they won all 3 segments. We didn't win all 3 segments with that car. We won all 3 segments of the Winston in 95. But, you know, he came through the pack, and it was really good. And then it was a game, because remember they used to reverse, right? So we didn't run as hard as we probably needed to in the second one, and I think he started third in the last segment. And when they dropped the green flag, he went by who was ever first and second. And during that last 8 to 10 lap segments, he ran laps more than a second faster than the field and just drove away. And
had nothing to do with the car.
Yeah.
It's all about setup.
Well, it was all set up, and
aero.
And, you know, and Jeff was at his best then. You know, I always tell everybody, look, if somebody else was driving that car, it probably would have still been legal. But we go up and do all the Unical toast, and we come back, and Buster Alton says, Mr. France wants to see you. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, hey, Bill wants to have a beer with me, tell him great job, you know, big crowd, whatever. I go up in there, and this was probably before your time when the hauler used to have the bat phone in it. Had the real, just had a push button phone.
I got thrown out.
You got thrown out with that?
Yeah.
Well, I go in there and he's sitting there, Mr. France, and he goes, "See that phone right there?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You need to pick it up and call your boss and tell him that car is illegal." And I said, "No, it's not. It's not illegal. You know, it passed inspection, and the inspectors looked at it the whole time and everything." And he goes, he used to smoke, you know, the Winston, and he goes, "Won't be tomorrow." That was the end of T-Rex, you know.
Wow.
But I get it. I think there was a line of car owners saying that, you know, because the design of the cage and the design of the bars of that car was so different. Yeah. Everybody thought it was that, but it wasn't.
Yeah. It wound up being mechanical. So I've got 2 more questions before we run out of time. I understand that you're a karaoke guy. Is that true?
It is, unfortunately. And I don't know why. I'm the worst karaoke guy in the world because I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I know I'm not.
What's your song?
Oh man, you know, it used to be Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, but now I've been working on some of the new country stuff. You know, I'm trying to, you know, as I'm getting older, my voice is getting a little raspy. So here and there, I'm trying to get some new material, you know?
Did you ever have any karaoke parties for the teams?
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely.
Did you make everybody sing?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody had to sing. Jeff Gordon had to sing. Like anybody knew. Like we did it right through, you know, when I had the Dodge team, like we'd bring in a new person. And if you were a new person at the Christmas party, you had to sing.
What was Jeff's song?
Oh gosh, he still sings.
Oh, I've heard it.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
I've heard it.
What we were, is that he took me to this little bar. What is it? The song from the first Top Gun.
Oh my God.
You've Lost That Love and Feeling. That's Jeff's go-to. That is his go-to.
All right. So what was your first car? How much did it cost? And where did it go?
It was a 1965 Malibu SS with a 396 in it. I paid $900 for it. And I traded it for a 1956 Chevy drag car.
That sounds very similar to how I got my first race car.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.